This is the note that I found on my son a couple weeks ago. He kind of just had it attached to his chest. It says, "Kill me, I mean nothing. I have issues."
Do they ever do anything physical to you?
Sometimes.
What do they do? Do they push you around or?
Yeah, they push me around.
Jared has been relentlessly bullied. He is our 9-year-old, to the point of being suicidal. Around Christmas time, the school put in place a safety plan, and this student has continued to look for opportunities to bully Jared outside of places where he is highly supervised.
In the beginning, I thought, well, this is a local issue. This is an issue in that school, or it's isolated. The more I was hearing very similar stories, my eyes slowly started to open to this and realized that it's really not just a local issue.
The Obama administration made a big move today on the question of school discipline policies around the country.
Discipline in schools.
The proper response to harassment is not always discipline.
Zero tolerance policies are a misdirection. We know this.
We found it beneficial to actually push folks to think about this work as not really about equal access or equal treatment, but instead about equal outcomes.
There was federal guidance that came down and was adopted by the states, which then pushed it down to the counties.
We went from a policy of zero tolerance to extreme tolerance. All that it has done is caused chaos within classrooms. It has disarmed teachers from having the ability to control their classes and stay safe and protected. Students are bullied relentlessly.
They threaten me a lot about physical hurting and make me want to leave.
It was probably about 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock. He was just sitting there. I just grabbed him up and whisked him off to my room so we could be alone, and I just held him, and we cried and cried and cried for a really long time.
Then we had incidents that began again last year with our daughter when she was in elementary school. It began with sexual harassment and elevated to sexual assault.
So I was sexually harassed by a student, and he would constantly come back and touch me and thrust his hips towards me. He once cornered me in and would not let me leave.
Did you feel like the teachers and the administrators helped you and kept him away from you?
No. They kept him away from me at lunch, but I didn't even eat lunch with him.
When it became assault, Nicole went to the school, addressed the principal directly, and the principal indicated that the offending student, had rights. It was dumbfounding to us.
I hear from parents and teachers regularly. Literally, they call me on the phone crying about incidences in the classroom, unaddressed bullying, violence. It's really heartbreaking. As a member of the board, in certain ways my hands are tied because we have to comply with all those layers of regulation and policy. So it's not an easy fix.
Our son Justin, who's 18 and a high school senior at Loch Raven High.
He had told a teacher about a young man that brought a knife to school. The student was gone for a short period of time. We didn't know whether there was suspension involved. We just knew he wasn't in class. The very first day he was back, he threatened our son and said he knew that our son told on him.
Yeah, we had filed a bullying report and asked for the student to be removed from the bus, and they told us that the student had rights and that if our son was scared, he could find another way to school. What's been distressing to us is that in all of these cases, as we've gone through this process, we've had things like the police tell us to stop using administration, but to report safety incidences by telling our children to go outside of the school and activate 911 instead of getting help from the school.
This guidance operates on a faulty core premise, and that premise is that when there is a disparity in the issuance of discipline, that is automatic proof of institutional discrimination without the need for substantiation. And I believe that if you don't issue discipline where it's warranted, or you mischaracterize it, that is as harmful as any potential discriminatory discipline that the guidance is attempting to correct.
It's affecting all colors. This is not a racial issue. And there are lots of folks that want to make it one. This is a children issue.
We've reached our limit, and the children will leave the public school system at the end of the year.
We've done some investigations with a couple of private schools, and we're going to bite the bullet.
How do you afford private school?
Right now, we don't know.
Extra work,
Second
doubling
jobs.
down. We will go to whatever lengths that we have to ensure not only their most basic safety within a school system, but also the benefit of a healthy education.
You know, we hear about school shootings and threats from outside, external threats to the school building. And as horrific as they are, if you take the cumulative effect, I think that it pales in comparison to the daily instances of bullying, assaults, and school violence that occur internally every single day in every school across the country.
I mean these words. I'm not confident that both of the children we still have left in the public school, that they would both come out alive or not seriously harmed.